Hello, everyone. Thanks for stopping on by for another episode of CinemaQuestria Riffs. Um, just please make sure if you have any sound issues in the chat, please. If you're watching on the YouTube channel, welcome. Hope you brought a copy of the film along with you because obviously for copyright reasons we won't be able to provide one. I'm at the Shadow Man, and today we are going to be slamming and jamming our way through Space Jam. And joining me this week we have.
Zena.
This is
Yeah!
Jace. Yay! This is Jay Smith.
And I'm still sleepy. Hey, this is Mr. Ben. How's it going, everyone?
I was gonna have some trivia and some things about space, but it's Space Jam. If you don't know what fucking Space Jam is by now, then you've been living under a rock since the 90s. It's yeah, it's that film, that one that has that famous rabbit that teams up with that famous basketball player, yo. It's funny
And
that
whose
it wasn't
website
Sorry.
and whose famous tie-in website still exists and has not yet been updated since 1998.
Which is amazing. You can still watch it in its 90s web glory.
Where you can download icons for Mac OS 7.
Wow. How old is OS X now? It's like at least, what, 15 years?
It's a product of Y2K.
Yeah.
This also got followed up into a video game, Barkley Shut Up and Jam Gaiden, but that's an entirely new can of worms, so we're not going to be covering that.
Maybe for a future Riffs episode.
Maybe.
I think there was a Space Jam video game for like PlayStation, I think, as well. I might be wrong.
There was.
I
There
might have to have
was. I had the PC version of that for the Windows
joy.
version or whatever. Yeah.
So yeah.
Oh wait a minute, Vin's saying we have an audio loop bug.
Hmm.
I think I might be able to fix it. Give me a sec. Hang on.
Are we...
No, we're still recording. Just fill the gap. I won't be like a second.
So, Ben, how's your local sports team doing?
The only local sports team I know of is the St. Louis Cardinals, and I don't really follow them.
Well, is the weather at least nice?
It's been raining over here for past couple of days, so
Oh, that's a bummer.
It's weird because the stream wasn't acting up and we were running the movie, so apparently we fixed it because they were saying it's on the loop.
By me fixed it, I basically changed the embed from Ustream to Ustream Direct. That hopefully will fix it. Yep, it has. Excellent. We can carry on. So yes. Well, I'm sure we'll be talking about the potential sequel to this movie because it's the sequel everyone wanted. Actually, no, seriously, I'm not joking around. I'm not being like facetious. I think a lot of people wanted to see a sequel to this movie.
so yeah, it's purportedly in the works with Justin Lin attached to direct and starring LeBron James, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
Which makes sense.
You believe if you're not mistaken?
They say, I believe I'm not mistaken.
That's like the most South thing I've heard in like a week.
Yeah. Well, I am originally from Virginia, so take that as you will.
Can I just say that it wasn't as big a deal, Space Jam, here in the UK than it was in the America. Mainly because basketball is not exactly one of our sort of major sports or one that we really follow. Don't get me wrong, Michael Jordan was such a household name that he was known outside the States, We knew who he was and everything, but obviously it wouldn't have been like, say, if it happened in the 2000s and David Beckham had appeared alongside him, that would have probably been a bigger deal for us. But yeah, I mean, this was the first movie I ever saw in a cinema as a kid. So I do have some affinity to this film, even if it isn't technically. Well, technically it's quite good actually in terms of animation. Just to say, one of the people that worked on this film for the animation is working on the MLP movie next year. So yeah, there's that. Anyway, enough filling in for time and everything. Are we all ready?
Yes.
Yeah, I got the film up.
I have it ready and loaded.
Okay. Does anyone else want to do the countdown?
Sure, I'll do it.
Kidoki.
All right, so on go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 18, 47, 92, 9, hike, 1, go.
Duck season fire. Let's go.
Yeah.
Whoa, that's loud.
Yeah, I know it was.
Yeah.
You'd think I'd know by now to change that.
No, it has to be a surprise every time. That's how CinemaQuestria works.
We start the movie in space.
The shot
Nope.
of Luna.
Why isn't the moon crying for me?
Oh God.
Oh, really? We started the movie in North Carolina. Yay, my state.
I won't mention anything about R. Kelly. We all know the news stories about him.
We're not getting a video feed.
Man.
Nah, that was my fault. I fixed it.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Just one. That's good. Do it again. Wow. Look at what morals have been taught to our children. That open defying of authority.
Before I actually saw the movie, I had actually had a an abridged version of the movie on tape and had Jim Belushi narrating. And it apparently had three songs that weren't even in the movie.
And this is where he picked up the secret of the chaos dunk. This secret would become invaluable.
He found out the
You're
secret
above
of
his
coming and slamming and jamming.
Starring
That
Michael
sounded
Jordan.
incredibly nasty, Matt.
Well, you know me.
And here's the infamous song.
Come on and slam if you wanna jam. This is too
So
slow. I'm used
I
to
had
this
actually-
BPM being like in the 200s.
Yeah, I actually made Space Jam. I never saw Space Jam as a kid, and I only really made Space Jam remixes before I actually saw the movie.
Wow. The song is pretty damn cool, even if it is pretty 90s.
Yeah, it's got that '90s narm charm to it. It's dumb, but it's like catchy at the same time.
This was an era where films like what was that pig film that wasn't Babe, that Gordy, that had the amazing pig power in the house. This was when even the most mediocre of films could actually have a really cool soundtrack. Slam now, gonna get it, got down and welcome to the Space Jam.
Take a chance, wear some pants at the Space Jam.
I will say it's pretty lazy to just reuse NBA footage for this intro, though.
Well,
I
they're
mean,
just trying to time. Well, they're trying to time cut. They're doing a time montage of Jordan's career. So apparently,
This BPM is still way too slow. I blame Xena.
I will have to admit, though, at least the song not only is catchy, but it also kind of got that Giles theme goes with everything thing going in with it, where if you mash it up with just about almost anything, it actually matches up pretty well with most mashups.
It really depends on if the song is over 135 beats per minute or not.
I think my favourite mix of this song is the one with Freedom Planet's boss theme. It's really, really good. It blends so well together.
I actually heard a mashup with the Power Rangers theme, and that actually sounded pretty good.
oh, man.
My order is en route. Go, 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 Mike.
Yeah, that audio board versus Space Jam I had instead of opening up with this song, it opened up with a song that's not even the movie. Bugs and the gang singing Michael Jordan that just because we're Looney Tunes doesn't mean we're crazy. And it was just Bugs and the Looney Tunes just singing and stuff.
But yeah, for those of you who are not familiar with Michael Jordan, he really did indeed retire from basketball for a while to play baseball. But his baseball game wasn't nearly as good as his basketball game was. So...
Wow, so he went from one sport that no one outside of basically America cared about to another sport that basically no one outside of America didn't care about. Okay, except for Japan. Japan kind of likes baseball as well, but yeah.
The safe ride for all ages. I remember in the audiobook they joked that the kids hated it, but the parents were the only people who enjoyed the park.
Now, if there's something I can really appreciate and compliment this movie for, regardless of how stupid the idea was, regardless of the actual quality of the writing and everything in this movie, it has some damn fine animation.
And conveniently, the TVs were all set to Cartoon Network.
Hey, remember us? We were popular 30, 40 years ago.
Too bad Swag Hammer, Six Flags, and a ton of other amusement parks already have the rights to have the Looney Tunes.
You do realise that the Looney Tunes aren't real, right?
Yo, what's up?
Yeah, they're not as real as that park
You
is.
suck!
Okay. So Matt, you mentioned that the animation was pretty good. I do have a little bit of trivia here. The Looney Tunes animated characters were primarily animated using Cambridge Animation Systems Animo program before being composited with live-action footage using Codex Cinean software. Cambridge Animation would actually later be sold to Toon Boom, and the software's features absorbed into Toon Boom's software suite.
Awesome.
So yeah,
Is this Cambridge, America, or Cambridge, England?
it doesn't say. It just says Cambridge. I'm assuming America.
I would assume America.
But
For the main reason Cambridge is not exactly known for its animation. In fact, it's not really known for a lot of that sort of thing. In fact, the only thing I can think of is Sony had a studio in Cambridge that made the Medieval series of games for the PlayStation. That's all I can really remember. It's funny, even if it had been terrible, people would have come just to see Michael Jordan, I suppose. It'd be a bit like, say, Superman decided to just go shopping in the supermarkets for the rest of his days when he retires. People would just come anyway.
It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Superman.
No, it's a fat guy falling off from the top.
It's super new, man.
I used to help out in Jurassic Park, but then I got eaten by velociraptors. So now I'm helping you out. Actually, come to think of it, I don't think Dennis Nedry actually got eaten by velociraptors. I forget how he met his demise.
Okay, that CGI really did look old. It's funny, the actual 2D animation looks amazing, though.
So apparently you can get into the world of Bugs Bunny just by digging a hole in a Piggly Wiggly parking lot.
Hollow Earth theorists.
It's a shame we couldn't have a whole movie just using this animation and these backgrounds and that. It looks fucking gorgeous.
So here's a little bit of more fun fact for you. So Joe Alasky originally said in an interview that he initially expressed interest in voicing some of the Looney Tunes, or at least provide Daffy Duck's voice. However, despite the fact that Alasky had several years of doing spot-on renditions of Mel Blanc's characters, producer Ivan Reitman kept making him audition several times and kept flip-flopping back and forth as to whether or not he's going to be cast. Alasky finally said, you know, either you want me or you don't, and Alasky just never heard from Reitman again. In the end, Alasky said he was glad that he wasn't involved in Space Jam after seeing the movie and saying that it was a terrible film, at least in his opinion.
Interesting to note, this is the only time Billy West voices Bugs Bunny. Although he would go on to voice Elmer Fudd for pretty much all the time after this point.
Yeah, Noel Blanc, who is Mel Blanc's son, was also supposed to provide the voice of all the regular Warner Brothers, but he and Warner Brothers couldn't agree on a contract. So this is why we got Billy West and D. Bradley Baker and Bob Bergen, as well as Bill Farmer, and Maurice LaMarche. So
Well, LaMarche has voiced Looney Tunes even before Mel Blanc died. He actually
that's
voiced
true.
he voiced Yosemite Sam pretty much more than Mel Blanc ever did.
Yeah.
I kind of find it odd that Joe Lasky didn't get picked for this movie because at the time, I think on Kids WB, they had the Sylvester and Tweety mystery, so he was already doing Sylvester and Tweety, and I think he was already doing Daffy in the promos there, so that's kind of odd that they didn't went with him for this movie.
I believe it didn't help Billy West being able to voice Bugs because he was unionized. I believe. I might be wrong on that. But the other thing that you'll notice with all the promotional materials for this movie, it was always Michael Jordan, Bugs Bunny. Billy West's name barely appeared anywhere, which would kind of piss me off, to be honest. And it is a shame because I actually think Billy does a damn fine job as Bugs in this film. Because I believe the only regular other voice actor that was in this that would regularly go on to voice Looney Tunes other than LaMarche was Bob Berkman, or Bikeman, or whatever his name was.
Bob Bergen.
Yeah, I know he
doing
went on to
Porky.
voice the Looney Tunes quite a few times after this. Actually, I think Billy West did voice Bugs in a couple of the video games, now that I think about it.
He did. Yeah, he did, and he continued to do Bugs in the Kids WB promos, and actually, even after Joe Lasky took over for Bugs, they had that the Looney Tunes Christmas Carol, the Bah Hum Duck, and Billy West. They actually had Billy play Bugs there, even though Joe had already taken over the role and other things.
I think it's probably just down to availability and money, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, since Daffy was the star, Joe was doing Daffy in that movie anyway, but.
You make sport way nerdier in America compared to here. We just like to see our teams win. We don't care about the stats. Yeah, kids, watch some Looney Tunes instead. To be fair, I know what I'd be rather watching.
Fun. It's kind of funny that this segment they colored Porky and the Looney Tunes for this new animation to make it look like the old TV quality of the old shorts instead of the shinier coloring they have in the rest of the movie. So apparently, every single showing of a classic Looney Tunes cartoon that was made back in the 40s got halted by this meeting. Apparently,
Laser blasters.
I love how that's just basically a book of how to draw Looney Tunes characters.
And that General Patton reference there.
Why didn't they, like, do something on their home turf and just do a loony competition? Who's the most loony wins?
Yeah.
You know, that would have been interesting that before they go for the basketball game, maybe they could have Bugs and the gang try their old tricks to thwart the aliens, but then the aliens outdo them saying, we watched all your cartoons, we know all your tricks, which leads them to the basketball thing. At least that would have been a little bit more plausible than them.
Wouldn't they just randomly just choose basketball?
Yeah.
I guess it's because they're taller, and I think it's going to make it easier, but yeah. Height isn't everything in basketball as far as I've been told. I mean, it's a big thing, but...
Headshot!
Does it have glitz and glam? He said it's a razzle-dazzle game.
There he is, our Lord and Savior.
What? Charles Barkley?
Yes.
Chub and Jam. Oh, hi, Dan Castanella.
Yay! This was... Yeah, The Simpsons was already a big thing by now, weren't it?
Yep.
Although it would be amazing how many people probably didn't realise that was him. What is it with trench coats in movies?
It's an American cliche.
Yeah. I think the funniest is still from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie.
Even today, the trench coats are popular, as today's this week's Steven Universe episode proved.
What even in the hell?
He turned into Smooze.
Nothing can stop it. He ain't got game anymore. He ain't got game.
Just like Starlight, he could steal all of his special individual talent.
Just imagine the direction, like, just be a complete moron.
Yeah,
you know?
the directing is like, you know how you're good at basketball, Charles? Yeah, well, we don't want you to be like that anymore. We want you to suck.
I got it. I got his cutie mark.
Why do I imagine by the end of this match, they're all gonna just suck? Oh god.
Back.
Whee!
Good job, buttered popcorn. Good job, buttered popcorn. Get while it's hot. Get it while it's buttered.
Yeah, they all suck.
So it's
Oh, so that camera footage proves, I guess, nobody else gets screen missed, apparently.
so the interesting thing is that they specifically chose in the Looney Tunes specifically chose the basketball as the game of choice because the Nerdluck's little alien guys are supposedly very small, short, stubby legs and all that, can't jump high, among other reasons. But one of the best basketball players that they apparently stole the talent from was Muggsy Bogues, who is the shortest player to ever play in the NBA at 1.6 meters, or 5 feet 3 inches for those of you who don't use imperial units.
Wow, he's actually shorter than me.
And you taught over a bit, but there was that infamous in-joke to all Michael Jordan's product placements.
Sorry about that.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, everybody's heard of it before, so. Oh god, Dennis Rodman Daffy. And god, Dennis Rodman himself wasn't in this movie. Well, that story came about out at the good time.
Man, that's some good weed.
Spalding. Besides, weed wouldn't do that. We would just make them hungry and pass out on a couch eating McDonald's and Taco Bell.
So you mean it doesn't make you
You
like
know-
100 feet tall?
It can make you feel like everybody else is 100 feet tall.
When fun of your party, when I wet myself. And notice that the red nerdluck who stole up Stalin is the shortest one of them. Hi, Bill Murray.
Yay, Bill Murray. You said yes to this film, but no to a Ghostbusters 3. What the fuck?
I'm actually quite glad he said no to Ghostbusters 3.
Well, I
So
say
he
no
said
to
yes to
Ghostbusters 3. He was in the third Ghostbusters film, but only because he was contractually obligated.
Yeah, but then Harold Ramis died, so
Yeah.
the plans for a true sequel kind of fell through. So
As to say, he did appear in the third movie, but A, it wasn't as a Ghostbuster, and B, it was because he was contractually obligated.
And funny enough, Bill Murray, I think, was the only one of the original three Ghostbusters who was actually whose character was actually part of the plot, instead of a cameo. The one like Dan Aykroyd and
He didn't have exactly a
Hutchins.
huge role in it, apparently, though.
Yeah. Well, I saw it, so.
I haven't, because I just really wasn't interested, and I don't want to open that
Yeah.
can of worms. We're here to see
Yeah.
Space Jam, after all.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to bet I'm probably the only person in this call who saw it. I was lured in by all the Ecto Cooler and the Stay Puft Marshmallow Twinkies. I got caught up in all the good Ghostbusters food and hype. I had to go see it.
Was it worth it?
Yeah, I thought the film was up, but what it's nowhere near as good as the original. I thought it was okay, but
And that's the problem. With it being okay with what had come before, that only polarised things even further. So...
yeah. I think I might. Good thing there was a magnet. Good thing there is apparently metallic object inside that golf ball.
Except it wasn't, because Bugs Bunny helped you. Not that you knew that, but... Bye!
Dun, 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 dun.
Oh, this punchline right here.
How did he fit through the hole?
Cartoon logic.
Toon magic.
But we're not... That was in the real world, though.
Maybe it was the magic of the toon rope. I don't know.
Yes, live action and Looney Tunes together again. Last time we have seen since Roger Rabbit.
And I'm honestly going to say, I actually think the technology really has moved on, and it was actually pretty good here.
Eh.
I said teen boy. Nike called Doc. We need to do some Air Jordan.
Didn't it all start from an Air Jordans commercial?
Yeah,
It did.
it's like Bugs and Michael had like even years before the movie started. Like Bugs and Michael had at least 2 or 3 Nike commercials together.
This is such a movie executive idea for a movie. Hey guys, this was really popular. Let's put these two things together again and make a movie!
I was going to wait until the end of the film to mention this, but there is some more trivia here. So basically 2 years after this film was released, Chuck Jones was actually very critical of this movie. He believed that this whole plot of this film, this 90-minute movie, could have been fit into a 7-minute cartoon, and he felt it was really out of character for Bugs to even be asking for help, and for stuff like Porky's line, like, "I think I let myself earlier." One of the animators, Greg Duffel, spoke of an incident that occurred shortly after the film's release where Chuck Jones just ranted about the film and its flaws at a dinner party celebrating the movie to such an extent to where he actually had to be escorted out by security.
Which is interesting, because Chuck Jones was always considered the slightly more placid of the animators, because apparently, is it Friz Freleng, was considered the much harder person to work for. So he really must have been pretty pissed.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest here. I think this film isn't that true to Looney Tunes with some of the characters. I mean, Daffy's as much of an ass here as he is in the cartoons, but in a different way, and not in the way that makes him particularly likable. And, yeah. Also, spitting from Looney Tunes. That's just something that fucking Family Guy would do.
Daffy literally ass kick at kids ass kissing his studio there.
To be fair, that isn't kind of out of character for Daffy. He would probably do something like that. If it meant him getting his own way. Trying to resist a Scootaloo joke here. Really trying.
I'm just thinking more Michael J. Fox here. And just, nobody calls me chicken.
Now the creepy CGI Michael Jordan basketball.
Yeah, that's not aged well.
Yeah. And the one thing that it sets him off is the lack of hair.
And Tweety getting injured. Oh.
Yeah.
My poor little Quanium. Quanium.
Tweety being the manipulative bastard he always has been.
I wish
No,
that
sigh, back to reality.
would have been even better if they. Oh my gosh, this is an artistically beautiful part of the movie.
But you ain't got gamed, fool. You're gonna look like a fool, fool.
Oh shit.
This song is fucking really creepy and disturbing for this scene. See, even the song's agreeing with me.
Wanna be gone.
Oh, bonk.
It's funny because basketball players are tall.
This
Is it bad that I find these scenes funnier than the actual scenes with the Looney Tunes? And these are with people that aren't really actors.
These scenes are actually what inspired the Charles Barkley video game.
And the last bit with Barkley coming up. Sure he is.
That's a big fucking divot.
Slicing your Jim. That was a reference to the original producer of the Looney Tunes, Leon Schlesinger. At least the Roadrunners had like decent. Except for he ran through the wall. And of course, now it's time for her. I think we know who I'm referring to.
Yeah.
The reason why the furry fandom exists.
I would like to think that happened before. And I'm going to be honest, Christian Wig, Lola Bunny from the Looney Tunes show in 2011 is much better than this version of Lola. Because she's actually a fucking Looney Tune in that, instead of just being, you know, men bait in this film. I'm sorry, but that's all she is. All she is she's overly competent and sexy, and that's basically her personality.
You sound exactly like Princess Sally.
Oh, for God's sake. She's a walking fucking cliche is what she is.
The funny thing is, I think right before I mean, obviously, it goes without saying that Lola's voiced by Kath Soucie until Christian Wig took over. And I think the funny thing is, I think right before the Looney Tunes show came out, the Christian Wig version of Lola appeared. I think the last time Kath Soucie voiced Lola was just a couple of years beforehand. Like remember how I mentioned earlier on that Six Flags had the rights to the Looney Tunes. Well, they had a Looney Tunes dance-off stage show, and you know the song Shakira Hips Don't Lie. They actually had the Joe Alasky voice Bugs and the Cass Soucie voice Lola performing that song. I'm not joking.
Thing is, though, Kath Soucie is a brilliant voice actress. You know, I've got nothing against her. It's just the character in this I don't like.
Yeah.
You know, Kath Soucie could have voiced Lola in the Looney Tunes TV show, and I'm sure she would have done a good job. I mean, I'm going to be honest, it's probably the role I think Christian Wig has done the best in, which is ironic considering it's the only real TV role that I know her in. I mean, I know she has done TV stuff before that, but...
Soon enough, there might be a time where new technology is introduced to the point where people no longer have the cultural context for a Zippo lighter. Because everybody will be using arc lighters or something.
They'd still use it the way around in concerts, I bet.
I thought most people use mobile phones for that now.
Oh,
yeah,
that's right.
Pretty much.
Yeah, because actually it's funny you brought that up, because when I told people to do that, like near the end of the show, right before he did the saga begins, he saying we all have cell phones, and he actually told everybody to stand up and wave them around. Which I myself did.
By the way, that kid saw you, Bugs. Why does Daffy sound like he was the voice actor before doing this movie? It's like, do I really have to do this?
I remember in this Space Jam video game, this was actually a mini game. You had to go around the house and avoid the. You had to go around this room and grab Michael's stuff and avoid the dog to get power ups.
Well, you've scarred that kid for life. Congratulations!
And somehow that dog somehow knocks down a full size door.
Meant to be the real world.
Yeah.
Next time I'll work with the Brendan Fraser, and Steve Martin.
Not that anyone would ever believe you.
Yeah, exactly. Although, to be fair, this is Michael Jordan's kids. I think that people would probably believe them. All I can think of is that History Channel meme. It was aliens!
I'm not saying it was aliens, but it was aliens.
Yeah, it was aliens.
Yeah.
Yet the crazy lady with the crystal ball is actually the one that's spot on. And what the fuck? Seriously?
Oh, this joke right here.
Oh,
I
that
don't
burned to
know.
the Mighty Ducks.
I don't know. Oh, Bugs, maybe the the actual.
Oh my god. Is that who I think it is?
Yes.
That
it
is Russell Simmons, isn't it?
Richard Simmons.
Richard
yeah.
Simmons. Yeah, well, he's not famous in the UK, but I know of him. Oh, hello. Oh, I thought he was going to bring someone else other than Michael Jordan out. It's like, you do realise you're going to need more than one good player. Well, okay, if you include Lola, two good players.
Hemlock's like, that voice, it can't be! How did he get into here?
Because the world isn't fair.
Yeah. And Newman's like, and a dork.
Well, to be fair,
He's
Jack
not
is not
wrong.
wrong. Whoa. Okay. Why do I imagine Granny would have actually probably been better than half of the Looney Tunes at basketball, though?
Yeah, that would have been a good gag there.
Oh my goodness. Is this the CI fucking A?
I believe it is.
It's the party in the CIA.
Wow, we're already
Come
50
on.
minutes into this movie. That's kind of amazing. We only have 40 left to go.
The funny thing is, I think after the movie came out, I think some of the Warner Brothers shows on Kids WB took pot shots at the movie because I know Animaniacs did that Jam-A-Lot gag where they made fun of both Space Jam and Quest for Camelot at once because it was the episode where Plots turns down the Warner's movie script and the Warners go to another studio and they sell it and it does well and it causes Warner Brothers' actual movie, which was a Space Jam Quest for Camelot knockoff, to bomb. And I think on the Sylvester and Tweety Mysteries, they did a joke where he says, "Sylvester, you better behave yourself or they'll put you in another basketball movie."
I do love this song, by the way, Pump Up the Jam.
Yeah, it's pretty catchy.
By Technotronic, I believe. Although the actual singer was, I believe, one of the women that was in the Weather Girls.
Wait, you said it was by Technotronic? I know, I had to make that pun. And the backgrounds in the basketball game are amusing. We got trying to make out all the obscure Looney Tunes characters from all the different shorts or it's in the audience.
Sorry, I still prefer schizophrenic, psychopathic, Lola. Yeah. I'm sorry, but I just do.
I remember
And
in the
Daffy gets
novel.
snubbed once again.
Well, it is Daffy.
I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the novelization of the movie, it said Daffy's mother.
Michael Jordan doesn't like talking about this movie.
Oh, and the Monstar theme. Hit 'em high, hit 'em high, hit 'em low, hit 'em low, hit 'em low, hit 'em low.
So I remember seeing a post that this is actually pretty. It was what can I say? Someone was a little surprised, but it made sense about why Marvin the Martian was the referee, because the Monstars are aliens, and even though Marvin is an alien himself, he's also a Looney Tune, so that makes him the perfect impartial judge.
But because he is a Looney Tunes, you could say he has some bias towards the Looney Tunes. Although, has he ever got on with any of the other Looney Tunes?
I don't think he has.
Ah,
I think
well.
like
Well, then
I
again,
think
you
like
could
the
say
only
that's biased the other way. Then
the only I think there's only 3 Looney Tunes that I believe he's actually had some sort of interaction with. There was Daffy Duck, obviously, as Doug Dodgers, but I want to say he's also had experience with I believe he's had experience with Bugs Bunny, and I
Yeah.
believe he's also had experience with the Tasmanian Devil as well.
yes, that's right. Yeah, but that's
So,
only those 3, unless you count like later stuff like the Looney Tunes show.
yeah.
Damn it, Sylvester.
Uh,
Shut up.
Wrecked!
To be
Wasted!
fair, I would have done that.
Yeah.
That's one way to stop them from like getting into position. Just point a gun at them.
If you like this, you're gonna like something we see a little later.
Kind of one-sided, isn't it?
No shit.
Solely Putty Tat.
Really?
How convenient he says that right at the moment where Stan's hiding in the locker and can overhear it. Funny Daffy, he there being snarky on Jordan's speech there. Yeah, right. That's gonna help us. And here's Michael's secret. He was taking
Uh,
steroids.
I don't want to know.
And promoting drug use for the win.
This was for children, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, man, this for children, man.
And the funny thing is that it's just plain old water.
Yeah. I think basically Bugs is trying to use, psychology, which,
Yeah,
it's quite smart on Bugs' behalf.
pretty much, yeah.
But I just can't help but find it funny because even Daffy's like this goes against everything that was taught to me in health class. And Michael's like, you want to win or not? And Daffy's like, all right, fair enough. So
Well, that is Daffy for you.
yeah. uh,
They build up their confidence, and then they do what they always do, the typical Looney Tunes stuff to win. Oh, this bit.
this is that scene. And it just randomly cuts away.
What the fuck? Who the hell edited this shit? It looks like something was cut there. It really does. There we go. You guys there?
I'm here.
Ah,
Yes.
Yeah.
just Discord dropped on me.
And it,
Yeah, I'm calling bullshit on that. Sounds like being one of the Star Trek staff members, signing autographs all day, performing in front of crowds all the time. It just sounds like being a regular celebrity, to be honest.
And Michael Jordan, of course, we're gonna win.
Ouch.
Apparently, there are no rules because how many times have they failed?
Well, to be fair, the Looney Tunes haven't exactly been playing fair either, putting dynamite round the bloody basketball rim. So,
Yeah, right. Must be Looney Tune rules.
he's a fucking cartoon character, he'll be fine.
Extreme pain.
I'm
Even
guessing
Granny's
the cooked chicken is, Foghorn
Eat a
Loghead.
joke.
Foghorn Leghorn, yeah.
I got Tweety in the iron lung.
Yeah, I like how Tweety
Eat
needs
a
a
joke.
fucking massive one.
And he eat a chose gag.
Newman, you're up.
Oh my god, that is so 90s.
Yeah. This was made in the 90s after all. To be fair, you don't really have much choice, did you really, Jordan? Oh, fucking hell.
Dog pile!
Thankfully, it counts as just a goal.
Does that count as a Newman points? Yeah, this animation hasn't aged quite as well.
No. The CGI, no.
No, CGI has animated poorly. That all the 2D stuff has aged incredibly well.
Sir Altitude.
And Bill Murray out of fucking nowhere.
Bill Murray saves the day!
And DeVito's line there. I didn't know Dan Aykroyd was it. Oh, and the explanation for what he's doing here, Cohen. And here comes the explanation for what he's doing here. Another producer is my friend of mine, the Ivan Reitman and Bill Murray relation tag.
Now let's all play fair. Pew!
Like we have it of the entire game.
Kind of want to hurry up there, Michael.
Good thing that scene was in slow-mo.
I'd love to, but the paycheck only gave me enough for this much of a cameo.
Yeah. Now they realize they could have ganged up on them the entire movie.
Well, he's Luna's problem now. And she's been up on there for nearly 1,000 years, so she's gonna be pretty pissed. And these guys would never be seen in anything Looney Tunes again.
The only loony thing Lola does this whole movie.
Yep. It's funny that they basically look to Amy Rose as the inspiration for her later on. You see, this is the way to have an entrance on a fucking spaceship.
That's what I call arriving in style.
Let it at least have gull wing doors like a DeLorean.
Nope, just a door
God
like
damn it.
Star Trek. How good was Michael Jordan as a baseball player? I heard he wasn't like the worst thing.
I think he was fairly average. Let me look that up here real fast.
I've heard he was, he wasn't like terrible. Obviously, he was nowhere near as good as he was as a basketball player, but he was, he was respectable at least.
Let's see. He had a batting 2.02 with 3 home runs, 50 runs batted in, 30 stolen bases, 114 strikeouts, 51 base on balls, and 11 errors. So yeah, he also appeared for the Scottsdale Scorpions in the 1994 Arizona Fall League, batting average of 252, .252. So
I have no idea if that's good or not. I don't follow baseball, so. But
yeah, I don't
those
really know
figures,
either.
if those figures mean anything to you, then you'll know whether that was good or not. But
Okay. Okay, so a batting season average the batting average for a baseball game is about .300. So, any average higher than .300 is considered to be excellent. So, um, so a 2.2 or an average is about 2.2 in the Southern League and 2.52 in the Arizona Fall League's not too bad. Not great by any standards, but not too bad.
yeah, so yeah, he was respectable at least.
Yeah.
So basically, being good at basketball has nothing to do with talent, has nothing to do with your height, nothing to do with athleticism, nothing to do with training. It's just magic powers.
Yep.
So I guess the joke of the entire movie, this is how this entire story is thanks to Bugs Bunny. He inspired Michael Jordan to come out of retirement.
And we still have about 8 minutes,
8 minutes
of
of
credits.
Fuck me.
Yeah.
I believe there is
So,
a stinger
and we
at
have
the
a
end, though.
There's a stinger at the end, yeah.
There's 7 minutes of a song medley.
Yeah. So yeah, that was Space Jam. It's Yeah, it's a product of its time, it really is. I think as an actual Looney Tunes, I think it's pretty poor, really. As an actual film, though, it's still pretty entertaining.
Some of the people appearing as themselves.
Yeah.
Funny if they threw, but I know they had the voice actors right, but it would have been Bugs Bunny in there. Bugs Bunny as himself.
Wait, Swackhammer was voiced by Danny DeVito?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was Danny DeVito.
Yay! Frank Welker got a credit. Because he's like, it's almost an obligation that he voices at least one cartoon character in virtually every fucking thing. Some of these images are pretty fucking random.
I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna vanish. Be back in a bit.
Okay, Xena, thanks for being here anyway. I suppose there's something we can sort of get something off our chest. They didn't really make too many Looney Tunes feature films. There was this, and I think the only other one was the sequel. Well, not sequel, but the subsequent one,
Back to
Back in Action.
Yeah.
I've only seen that film like once or twice, but from what I remember, it had better characterization of the Looney Tunes, but the film itself was not all that great either, to be honest.
Yeah.
I just love William's nice expression there. He's like, "Fuck." I'm sorry.
No need to be sorry. Now we have the best song in the entire movie. It's funny that in that one image, that's the most Looney Tunes Lola looked in the whole fucking movie.
Yeah.
Except for when she did ooh at the end.
Yeah, pretty much. That's probably the meanest I've ever seen Porky Pig look. Actually, no, that's not true, actually.
And we cut to Brandy.
I remember I never had the VHS or anything of this movie, but I do have the soundtrack. And I remember hearing this song on the soundtrack, and I'm like, when the hell did this song ever play in the movie?
Which song's that?
Was it
The one that's playing now.
Oh, okay. There was also a song in the soundtrack that was in the movie where Bugs Bunny was rapping.
Yeah, I remember that one. Yeah, it's actually kind of funny because Bug can drop a fat fire beat.
The thing is with the Looney Tunes, I just don't think they work in a movie film. The movie format doesn't suit the Looney Tunes all too well to me. I think that anything beyond 22 minutes is difficult for them.
Unless they do like back in the 70s and 80s when they had those compilation movies where they had.
But that was just basically a bunch of shorts all spliced together with some sort of thing hanging over it to sort of loosely bring them together. That's not really a movie as such.
Yeah.
And it's the same problem I feel is kind of plagues pretty much most of the issues that are more in regards to shorts. Like for example, I'm gonna make a reference here. I'm sorry, my brain, my train of thought's trying to derail itself here. But let me make an example. The Aqua Teen Hunger Force. I remember seeing those little cartoons on like Adult Swim and all that, and has like little shorts, like little 7-minute shorts or anything like that, like 15 minutes or anything of that nature. However long they went, I think they were like 10 minutes at most. They were fine for like the shorts that they were, but then they tried taking that same 10-minute short and they tried stretching it out into like a 90-minute movie, and it just failed so fucking hard. It just fell so very flat, and I just
That's the only thing that worries me about the MLP movie next year. Now, a lot of people will say the show works just fine for 44 minutes, and that really a stretch to an hour, sort of an hour and say 20, which is more than likely how long the running time will be, isn't that much of a stretch. And yeah, I kind of agree, and it helps that the characters having so many good ones, and you wanting to give them plenty of screen time. I think they can easily do it. But it's still something that's going to hang in the air, because the only real movie I can think of from a TV, like animated TV show that really worked on the big screen was the Simpsons movie. But that was like a long time in development. I mean, like forever, basically.
yeah, it was like wasn't it? It was stuck in like development hell for like what early, not early, but like at least the late '90s.
Yeah, and I mean, that was basically like 2 or 3 episodes sort of smushed together, really, in a sense. I mean, there was one major narrative throughout, don't get me wrong, but it kind of sort of had other things sort of going along in the foreground and background to kind of help.
Yeah, I'm in chat room here. I'm not too worried about the MLP movies because we did have proof through Equestria of Girls, the EQG sub-series, that Friendship and Magic things can work in a feature-length format. It's just that I'm more concerned about like trying to take a setting, trying to take characters, trying to take storylines from what's 11-minute shorts to and trying to stretch them out to like a feature-length format. Friendship is Magic has been more of a 22-minute show, and it has worked in a feature-length format. But then again, the writers between Friendship is Magic, I mean, they've got some damn good writers there. I mean, I'm not really too sure about the writing staff
The thing
behind.
that I will say about the movie is, considering Hasbro said, "Oh, hang on, let's just see the stinger here."
Yeah.
You already
You
have.
can.
And that was Space Jam. So
Yeah. I think we've pretty much Sorry.
I have to admit, I did enjoy Space Jam a lot when it first came out. I'll have to admit.
I don't think it's a terrible movie or anything. I don't think it's that true to the Looney Tunes brilliantly. Yeah, I mean, there is some inappropriate. It's funny how there's quite a few inappropriate jokes in it, really. Which, you know, I suppose you could say it's sort of the sort of a product of its time, I guess, in that regard. Because I don't think some of those jokes would fly in kids animation now, to be honest. I mean, the whole idea. I know the whole idea of a lot of, because the thing is with the Looney Tunes, it was as much for the adults, if more for the adults than kids, and I suppose in that regard it's not too bad. But I don't. There's a difference between being adult at like the Looney Tunes and being adult like something like Family Guy. And I think, you know, sometimes you. I don't know if you ever saw. There was some shorts that they made. I think this was around about the time of back when Back in Action was on, because they obviously were trying to sort of, you know, hype that film up. They made a bunch of shorts with the Looney Tunes, and apparently they were absolutely dreadful. And they only actually appeared in the Australian DVD release of Back in Action, and they were awful, really, really bad. Like, so bad that they didn't get like a release in America officially for like a long time. I think they have been released subsequently. I'd have to remember which ones they were, but I know that they were pretty panned, like a lot. They were like seriously terrible.
Funny enough, I think think even though it was a Warner Brothers property, I think one of those awful shorts was a Duck Dodgers one. They actually he snuck. It was either Bender or Zoidberg in the background.
You see, I think they were animated by Rough Draft, which may well explain that. But I don't think the problem was necessarily animation. It was more like the content of the shorts more than anything. So yeah, there was that. But yeah. Does anyone else have anything to say about the jam that's slamming or spacing even?
Kind of curious why Wayne Knight was even involved in this because I don't get me wrong. I kind of like Wayne Knight as a character, as an actor, I should say. Bleh. Wayne Knight is an actor,
As a character actor.
but the character of Stan was just kind of annoying through the film. I mean, he was also seemed a little too creepily obsessed with Jordan as well, and it made me wonder why exactly was he even there. But that's my only real main concern.
Yeah. Like I say, I think the only.
I got to post this to you. I showed this to you. I showed this to you, but Ben, I showed you this before. But
Oh yeah, that was
that 2014.
yeah the the YouTube thing that you sent me.
Yeah. Put it in the main chat, but that's just creepy. So, especially since in that model of his face is being plastered on a guy too, so
So, yeah. What we're going to be doing next week? Just to note, provisionally, the 1st of October, which is 2 weeks from now, we've provisionally got Super Duper Sumos down finally.
Oh boy,
Because,
that's gonna be fun.
yeah. Well, not as fun as it was to actually get the fucking episodes, but we have them now. Well, by we, I mean me. I actually had to go out and buy a DVD of the episodes. I don't know what I'm gonna do with the disc or the case now because there's no extras on that DVD whatsoever. No audio commentaries. I don't even think it came with subtitles. Fucking thing. So yeah, now that I've ripped the episodes off the DVD, I literally have no use for it.
Well, hey, you got yourself a fancy cheap coaster.
What, with a load of animated sumos with their butts hanging up in the air? Fucking great.
Well, if nothing else, yeah, you got yourself a target for skeet shooting.
Just need to get an air rifle or something. So yeah, what are we gonna do next week? We have Rubber, whatever the hell that is.
That's a movie about an evil demonic living tire that can make people's heads explode using telepathy. I'm not joking.
Yeah, it's one of those films. Yeah, I've seen it before. I remember Nittany actually streamed it once, and it was one of those out there kind of films.
Okay. We also have What a Cartoons. I'm guessing it's the ones that aren't so good, not the good ones. We have the Nintendo Power promotional videos, Secret of Nim 2, Strange Magic, Theodore Rex, bad and or funny Steam Greenlight trailers, The Lone Ranger 2013, bad edutainment gameplay, Quest for Camelot, Control Alt Deletes, Goosebumps TV show, bad fan animation, The Core. We can get rid of Space Jam because we've done that. Jack and Jill, Pixels, My Mother the Car, The Only Way is Essex. Oh god, if we end up doing that, I've got to basically record some episodes of that off ITV. That won't be difficult because I repeat that like fucking over and over and over, that piece of shit. But yeah, that'll be fun if we ever do that. Basically, it would just be me saying, no, Essex is not fucking like this. Master of Disguise, Barney and Friends. Oh my god. Oh, I don't have enough drink for that. Jersey Shore, Maximum Overdrive, Highlander 2, The Quickening, Fleabag Monkey Face, which is a cartoon that I know was actually kind of semi-popular here in the UK. I have no fucking idea why. Shark Attack 3, Megalodion, or Megalodon, whatever it's pronounced. Santa and the Ice Cream Bunny, Raggedy Ann and Andy, a musical adventure, Chuck E. Cheese in the Galaxy 5000, the Tony Hawk's cartoon, which does look bloody terrible, but it makes no sense either. Manimal, 90s celebrity cartoons such as Hammer Time, a second round of infomercials, Donald. Oh, we've already done that. Dragon Ball: The Magic Begins, Three Ninjas, Saban's Masked Rider, the other Super Mario animated suggested, plus other bad video game adaptations, anything from the Brazilian Star Wars guys, anything from Dingo Pictures or Phoenix Games. No. Last year's Gem and the Holograms movie, Mamma Mia, Pound Puppies and the Legend of something poor. I can't quite see what that says. Never mind, it's not loading up properly for me. Any of the 70s Hanna-Barbera shows, Baby Geniuses or Baby Geniuses 2, Metroid Other M the movie, which I'm guessing is all the cutscenes from that game, WWE Slam City, Kung Fu Dino Posse, Troll 2, Bebe's Kids, Brave Star, The Amazing Bulk, okay, weird Google Images results. I'm terrified to do that one. And Samurai Cop. That's quite a list.
Yeah, that definitely is.
I'm gonna be brutally honest. The tire that makes people's head explode is I'm rather attracted to now that you've explained what it is.
You want to go ahead and do that next week then?
I have no problem with it. I'm just was looking in chat room. I saw the Nintendo Power promotional ones
been her saying he wants us. He kind of wants us to do the Nintendo Power ads.
Wasn't just Ben. There was a couple other people that was mentioning it as well.
I think we should do that then. It's been, like I say, we've not done too many suggestions, so I think we'll go with that. We'll do Nintendo Power promotional videos. We'll have to work out which ones we want to do and that. So, I mean, if Ben's got any ideas for ones that he'd like us to do, then obviously he can suggest them to us. So yeah, next week we're going to be doing Nintendo Power. So join us for that. I'm going to have like very little to say though, because well, I was a Sega kid, so I can go, ha! Your stuff was completely ridiculous. Not like us, where we had ridiculous adverts saying we had blast processing. Although we didn't have those ads in the UK because we didn't have Genesis does what Nintendo don't, because you couldn't call it Mega Drive does what Nintendo, because it doesn't sound as good. So yeah, for those of you that are listening to the recording of this, thank you very much for listening, and take care.